Hello, our people, and welcome to the Girl Boy Games podcast, where I, Lucas Leander, aka the Bearded Panda, and Melly Pentala, aka Mel the Maneater, discusses all things gaming, and we occasionally have the amazing guest.
Yes.
If you're enjoying your hearing, please drop us a follow on the podcast platform of your choosing, and consider following us at YouTube at Girl Boy Games, our Twitter at girlboygamesyt, and our TikTok at girlboygamesyt for even more hilarious clips. Today, we're talking about it. We're talking about two big things happen on the same day.
Talking about it. It's gonna be so good.
Xbox came out here, just diarrhea the bed. Diarrhea everywhere on the bed. With Redfall on the world's most powerful console. The world's most powerful console has a 30 frames per second, while you can run Horizon at 120 frames on the PS5.
Well, someone opened up the Xbox Series X, the world's most powerful console, and diarrhea down the back of its throat.
They went. That's what they thought made it powerful. Guess what? It didn't work. But at the same time, Sony and Nintendo, they opened up that wound and they put some lime, they put some salt.
They put some salt.
They're like, we're going to have the greatest trailer of all time, along with
the best state of play ever.
25 minutes of pure crazy ass combat. And that's what we're here to talk about.
So today, we're going to be talking about the crazy state of play where we got 25 minutes of Final Fantasy 16 gameplay.
Yes.
And then we are going to be talking about in my personal opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, the best video game trailer of all time, which was for The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, which is coming to a store near you on May 12th.
And I gotta say, we're skipping over the Final Fantasy. We're going straight to Zelda.
Oh, really? We're
going straight to Zelda.
Skipping it.
This trailer, guys. I'm going to be honest.
I already know what he's going to say.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I came into this game thinking, I don't want to play this game. I saw the glue demonstration, and I was like, no, this isn't what I was looking for. I was looking for...
You're like, that's cool, but that's not cool, what I was
but I don't need 15 minutes dedicated to the glue function or to the combine function. I wanted more basic things, honestly. New enemies, more depth on the story.
More landscapes.
Stuff like that. And so I was pretty down on it. I was honestly more excited for Diablo, more excited for Street Fighter, Final Fantasy 16, all these other things. Then the saxophone hit, guys. Then they
went
and then the Link's out here. He gets the rocket and he's like he's riding the saxophone into space.
We've watched this trailer. I even know how many times
probably
at this
8 times,
point,
9 times.
But
here's the thing.
We just rewatched it just so it was fresh in our heads.
Yeah.
And I could have cried. I think I could cry every time. It's like we were both smiling and laughing.
Yes.
How hyped that this trailer
trailer
makes you feel. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
But I also was I kind of wanted to cry a little bit. It was just
honestly,
and I'm a band nerd. I was a band kid. I was a band and a theater kid in high school. If that's anything says about me. And so I'm a bitch for a good soundtrack and good composing and good musical timing. So you were saying when he had the rocket and it went, I was
God. Saxophone is killing.
I love the saxophone.
Honestly, I only get sad, or I only feel a little teary eyed when I'm extremely happy, or I'm talking about with media, not life things. I'm talking about
you have to just start crying randomly throughout the day.
With media, it's only when I'm extremely happy or when I'm mildly sad. When Frodo leaves the Middle Earth, I'm like, no.
I don't think that's mildly sad though. I'm gonna say that that's bittersweet.
Bittersweet. There we go.
Bittersweet.
There we go.
Bittersweet hits this guy in the guts.
But this trailer, there was a moment one of the times I was watching by myself, I actually got a little teary. I was like, I'm that happy, and You know what? The trailer's so good, independent of the game. The game could be ass, and you could be like, didn't matter. That trailer, like the game sucks, yeah. But the trailer will always be hype and amazing and like
while everyone
hit.
else is playing the game and you decide you don't like it, you're just rewatching
Watching
the trailer
like,
for hours on end.
This hit so hard. This hit so hard.
I'm gonna go play another game.
And that's the thing. We watched this trailer that many times. Until the last time we watched it, or maybe the time before, I wasn't analyzing the trailer. I was just enjoying it.
Yeah.
I was rewatching it, just enjoying it. I was not
just
like
feeling.
What does Ganon's beard look like? I wasn't analyzing anything. I was just pure intaking and feeling emotion.
Yeah. No, that. Oh man. They and there is still so much I feel like I need to unpack from that trailer. Aside from but it's like Lucas was saying, it's so hard. It was so hard for me to even begin to unpack what happened in that trailer because I was just overwhelmed with emotion and hype and saxophone.
Yes. I think, we should break down what makes a good trailer. And I think there's two things. One that's like more, you can't really place your finger on it, and one that you very much can. I think the first thing you can't place your finger on is that it creates a visceral emotion where it's like most trailers nowadays, it's like you watch it and you're like, okay, that was cool. Now let me analyze every single thing to see what I get from the gameplay.
Like an information dump.
Yes, it's more so information. They're trying to sell you on the transaction.
Yeah.
The best trailers, it's not about the gameplay or any, like it is, but like it's not. It's about the emotion it created. And, like, telling a story within literally just the trailer.
Yeah. It was, like, that, and I 100% agree, because there's a lot of trailers recently that I'm like, eh. Yeah. Like, it was a trailer. That was neat.
Yes.
Whatever. But that, I was like, man, I could watch that again right now.
Yes.
And then watch it multiple times over, again and again and again and again. Yes. And be like, this hit like a good TV series. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Of one episode over. And that's the thing, like, even like the Final Fantasy trailer, if you think about it, or the direct, right?
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to show you all the gameplay mechanics. But really, the second half of that shit, they're just like, hype! Here, here's the craziest, biggest fight since God of War 3. It's so big, it's so crazy, it's so epic, you feel bad. It's like, they are not showing any gameplay, anything off. They're just stunning you visually. Yeah.
But and that's the thing about, I think, specifically this Final Fantasy game, is the combat and the gameplay is just big and crazy. And so and there's cutscenes and there's all these different, it's just that much that you feel like you weren't watching gameplay, you were just watching like crazy animation, even though it was gameplay
mixed with like cutscenes mixed with.
Besides that, we'll get to Final Fantasy in a second. I want to stick.
No, we're sticking to this. We're sticking to this. We're glued to this. Permanently.
They use the glue mechanic.
We are now one. We are now a microphone. But I think the second thing to make a trailer so good, we hit saxophone.
Alto saxophone.
That's it. You put
maybe it was soprano, I'm not sure. It's been a while. But man, listen, I played saxophone in high school, and I played the baritone sax, which is very different. Yeah. But let me tell you the kind of confidence and ego a lot of saxophonist players have, but when they go and they wail, that's where all the confidence is. In that moment like that, where that saxophone player has been waiting for that moment.
Yeah, to go off.
His entire life to feel like a saxophone god.
And that's the thing about the saxophone, is that, it's really, if you don't, you need your moment. It's one of those things that's like, when it comes in, there's no oh look, the saxophone in the back. It's like, it comes in with a presence, and it needs to represent and be the front focal point of the music.
Yes.
And that's what it did perfectly. But besides the joke of the saxophone, music is so important. I think back on the Assassin's Creed Revelations trailer. If you guys haven't checked this out, go back, take a trip back. They synced that so well with the music. It was like the same feeling I got from that. That was like the original of this trailer for me. Of like the music synced, it's telling a story, right? Like Ezio, he's traveling. It's like don 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 don. I don't know the words. It was so good. It was so good. And the next one, he's like fighting, and it's all epic. And all of a sudden, they overwhelm him, and he's like, they break his like hidden blades, and you're like, no, and the music's going off. And then he's about to get like hanged, and the music's like doing to his crescendo, and you're like, oh my god, I'm getting chills right now thinking about this. It's going to this crescendo, and all of a sudden, the music ends, and then just, like, you hear like the noose like getting around his neck, and all of a sudden, he turns to fight the dude, and the music goes dun dun dun, and you get the title sequence. And the best part is that trailer is literally the build up to when you start the game. It like that's how you have to click the other one.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to click the rewind. Yeah.
Technical difficulties, everyone.
Technical difficulties, but yeah. So that was that last feeling. But this.
And you know what's similar? Mm-hmm. How I feel like soundtrack is something that like has really been prevalent. Oh, thank God, there's water over here. I thought I was gonna have to go get water from over there. I'm so thirsty. Give me that thing. But I feel like soundtrack has been so prevalent recently, especially from like, and I won't spoil anything, but the Mario movie. Oh man, did they know how to just mollywop you into frickin' your nostalgic like childhood feeling, taking sound and themes that you've heard from the Mario games that you've played all through like our lives, and then making them like a symphonic, just majestic, beautiful thing. And I feel like, and that's what made the Mario movie for me. Obviously it was great, but it was the soundtrack that I was like best part of the movie. And for me, the Tears of the Kingdom trailer, like, it's hard for me to say. Like, for me, I feel like both the visual and the soundtrack in that trailer, they worked hand in hand. Like, they were that. Like, I have no, like, that's a 10 out of 10 trailer.
Oh, easy.
Like, I'm just gonna say it's a 10 out of 10 trailer.
That trailer was so good, and like, we need to put some respect on soundtracks because, okay, I think people obviously know how important music is to things, but it's like you realize it's important until you realize the real importance of it when you hear that soundtrack that you're like, oh, like either later on you're like, oh my god, I'm nostalgic for that thing, or in the moment it's elevated. The moment is so significantly elevated, like the saxophone in the Zelda trailer, or when you go in the Elden Ring theme, where it's like you hear it in the intro every single time, then you hit the final boss and it's there, and it's even crazier, and it's perfect.
I think imagine this.
Yeah.
You're in the final boss fight.
And the saxophone?
No, you're fighting Ganondorf.
Okay.
And it's like the peak moment of the boss fight, and the saxophone hits.
Honestly,
I'm losing my mind.
I love it, but I don't know if I love it like that.
No, if it's all this build up and everything, and then it's
I don't know if a saxophone like hit me.
That's what he said about the saxophone the first time he heard it.
The first time I heard it. Do I need to play
the saxophone for you again?
The first time I heard it, I was. The first time I heard it, that's what it sounded like, honestly. I was like, why are we getting sexy vibes up in Zelda?
Yo, why is it getting jazzy?
Or wait, up in Zelda. Wait, I mean, up in... Hey, yo! Hey, okay. Back to what we're talking.
This man...
Not what I meant.
You got too far ahead of yourself too fast.
I'm trying to say the saxophone, it has that like, yeah, sexy, like. Michael, show your face again. But yeah, the music, it didn't hit as hard the first time, but then it grew on me. But I'm saying it feels like I could imagine like a hype moment happening and the saxophone kicks in and you're like, but I'm like, the final battle, like, you need that epic.
I feel like that is epic though.
The saxophone's an epic thing. You know what? I could be completely wrong.
You know what?
I could be eating my words in a month.
You know what this stems from? You don't like jazz.
I don't like jazz. I
love jazz. You like jazz?
I know. I don't like jazz.
I do like jazz. I'm a very jazzy human being.
Well,
and so I feel like it could just be like certain sounds and different things that you just don't correlate with like an insane boss fight. Like I already know what's going through your head. You're like, even
in this,
like Elden Ring levels of like that's what you want. You want the
God
Elden
of War.
Ring.
Dun, dun.
It's the same fucking sounds. He said, I don't know what cadence it's gonna be in, but everyone else is just gotta go.
But even in the beginning of this trailer, they have like a chorus, and it's so cool. The best part is when that person goes, and it's like the visual of his face, and you're like, whoa, why did I get chills from that? Why did I get chills?
I will say, if they do that in the boss fight, I think I'll be thrown off. If I'm like,
I think that'd be great. I think, they have like
you are
it's
so
like, it has to be like
right now.
I am off space.
So
but let's say
maybe he said, I don't want saxophone, but I do want gibberish.
I want like backwards talking. Yep, yep. I want that. That's why I want the main backwards chorus. Backwards instead. Oh, it's here. Okay.
You know what? I just in the middle of the boss fight, I just want E.
Back to being actually based. When the Glue trailer came out, right? Everyone was like, why is the music the same? Anyone who cares about music noticed that and was like, besides all these other things looking the same, it was like, why is the music itself exactly the same?
Yeah, it was concerning.
And so it especially when Breath of the Wild already has a very subdued soundtrack where there's like they always want it to be like, you're walking around this silent world.
It's whimsical.
And it's like, okay, that's cool or whatever. But I'm hoping in this game they bring that soundtrack.
I'm just
not all the time, but in those moments they bring that soundtrack.
I want to make an edit where it's like every single thing you do in Zelda, like, but like, what if like when you glue something together, like it's like a super basic mechanic. No, when you put like you glue something together, or you just do any minor like basic thing, like you cooked food, and then all of a sudden the saxophone is.
Oh my god.
Just for no reason.
It's
so intense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god, that'd be funny.
We need this that's the power of the saxophone. You can't have it there all the time. Because when it comes in and it startles you, it hits. You know, you don't want it to be like, okay, taking a poop. You know, I don't know. Zelda, it's a sandbox. They do some weird, tedious stuff in this game. I love it so hard. That could be a new mechanic. They make your swords break.
You do have to eat.
Exactly.
Where does the...
We saw the evolution of the tiers of the kingdom.
Link has to shit his whole ass. Link can't fight constipated.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's a bar for it. I don't want to get into this. This is not
You started it.
I made a comment, okay? I made a comment.
I was talking about mechanics and you were like, oh, the poop mechanic.
You know what?
Let's move on.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm very excited now for the game. Now going past the
soundtrack.
This thing's hype and stuff, yes. You know. Because it is hype.
Hype is shit.
The mechanics we saw in it, I like that we saw more enemies and more bosses, you know, immediately. That's what I want to see. I don't know how much that's going to, like, how many new enemies or bosses there are. But even adding on, it will help a lot fill out the game a little bit.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that one, the rock creature guy, the, like, big mech thing.
That he made?
No. Did Link make it, or is it a boss? Like the big rock thing that comes out of the wall.
Oh, that comes out of the wall. Yes, yeah, that looked crazy.
Like that, the drive was like, poof, like that thing looked insane.
Yeah, I like that. It feels like we're stepping back into like dungeons and back to like that boss structure.
Yeah.
Like, I think that shrines and stuff, they were cool, but
I hated shrines.
they were and the beast, the floating beast. I don't know, man. That wasn't it for me. And so I feel like this might be a better structure to like the main objectives to do in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't shrines I hated. It was the beast I hated. Take that back. I hated the beast.
The shrines were fun.
The shrines were fun. I got those two mixed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like we're getting like obviously you've got like the reverse time thing, which is great. The glue thing, which they didn't really show much of. They didn't show it all, I don't think, in the trailer. They're like, we already showed you this, we already showed it again.
Well, they didn't show you using it, but like
no, but
they
like they showed like the
yeah.
product, like the
products.
And like I really loved like the landscapes that we saw, like that weird like sand area that was cool. And you know, Matt Mercer voices Ganondorf now, and that's awesome.
Ganon looks sick. He looks amazing. There's some like art on him that Nintendo's released, and like Ganon's now a freaking power lifter.
Yeah,
he's jacked. And I like that they're doing this like it's almost like Ganon's like almost like a Ronin or something. He has like this samurai
he's got
sword.
A really cool look to him.
Yeah, and like they have these moments where it's like they have like this Japanese music, like Japanese theming music in random parts of the trailer that sync really well. And so I feel like that's gonna be the more of the theming around Ganon and his vibe, and that's awesome. Obviously, anything Japanese samurai is always awesome.
Yeah,
so mixing
like
that with
favorite.
Ganon,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my. Okay, guys, I'm going back into the conspiracies into what if what if Ganon was the new version was in Smash Bros. Of course. Oh my! Could you imagine the new? Because they made a new Link. They made a new Link that has the bomb and everything. Do you
think they'll make a new Link for Smash 2? If they're gonna make a new Ganon, I feel like they need to make a new Link with his long hair. Dude's drippy as hell.
Because that'd be awesome. Of course, they're not gonna add anything to Ultimate.
No,
But in the next game, new Ganon and new Link.
Out.
New Ganon, new Link. Oh my god, that's gonna be
100%.
scary when that game comes out.
It's gonna look sick though.
Yes. The story is actually like
it looks
more
prevalent.
intriguing.
Like it looks more intriguing, and I'm hoping. Obviously, it's a trailer. You know, they can twist things. However, like the clips of all the talking that they showed us in the trailer.
The
whole game. That could be like
whole game. All the cutscenes were in that trailer.
All the cutscenes are in the trailer. I do really like how like it's kind of like Link's got like a squad now. Like there were multiple scenes where you cut to and he's got like his posse, like the people that help him fight, or like the one where he was fighting with like the shark dude or whatever. Like that was really cool.
Yes.
I like that. Like it's like the kind of that theme of like friendship, you know, and like having like not because he's always been like the lone wolf, like he does everything by himself and it's all on him. I mean, granted, they do say at the very end, Link, you're our last hope, but it is nice to know that it's like, no, like we're not just people that exist in, like, we're not just NPCs, like, I mean they are, but like they're people that like maybe will contribute more to the story and like are a bit more active in your adventure. And
I like that there are more besides those main that was shocking, the PlayStation turned on, but I like that there are more NPCs besides those main side characters. Okay,
wait, no, give it back.
Oh, you're gonna drink it all. No, you're gonna drink all my water.
You can get more.
That's true. But I like that there's more NPCs, and I like that they're not just the side characters basically. Because the world before felt just a little bit empty, you know. And I know it's meant to be like that. I get it, but I want to see a slightly more breathing, living world.
I agree.
And I like that, you know, like as you see, like Link's coming in, and he's twirling his spear, And then you see like villager people fighting.
I was gonna say, at first I didn't realize that. Like,
Yeah.
I was so focused on the fact that he was riding a horse and swinging this big old club.
Yeah.
But then I, like, you know, after the 8th time we watched the trailer, like, just this last time I was like, he's gonna hit someone in the head. Like, someone that's not supposed to get hit in the head. Yeah, like, that seems more involved. Like, the NPCs seem more involved in different parts. I'm hoping, like you know, if I run 500, like, I don't want it to be like I have to run 500 miles before I see one NPC.
Yes.
You know, and they're hard to find, you know?
And I think this is, all of this, you know, because I look over and what I see, we have the TV on, and on there I see Jedi Survivor, right? What's the difference from the Jedi Survivor trailer in this trailer? The Jedi Survivor trailer is a passable trailer, but at the end of the day, it's like every other AAA trailer, which is they are all good trailers and they do their job and they do make you feel excited for it, but it's not this like overwhelming, like holy moly, like to the point where it's like if you're not sold, you're not sold. It's not. It's only like if you're already sold, now you're excited. And if you're not sold, now you know more. That's what it feels like. I feel like other games, especially with their final trailer, the final trailer for Jedi Survivor to me was like, this is just a trailer. The final trailer for this game it's the peak. Do not release anything else on this game because I don't want anything else.
I don't want anything.
I just want to go into it.
I just want to ride this high.
Yes.
Like, and I feel like this is like more developers need to like this feeling. It's the like people like like you can, and this kind of goes into the whole thing of like, what do you want to you should market spec and you should market like the new mechanics and all this different stuff. But honestly, marketing, at the end, you're trying to make someone feel something. You're trying to make them like, it's a feeling, your game. Yes. Or you're trying to make them love your product. Yes. And I feel like before I got the Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED. I get to pick it up next Friday. I'm super excited. Yeah. It'd be cooler if it came with the game, but it doesn't. Yeah, but it's fine. I have to wait like everybody else. But and I was excited for it, and I was excited for the game, and with the glue stuff and whatever, I was like, okay, this looks cool, but like is it gonna be like too Breath of the Wildy? Like, it's gonna be like, yes, it's a sequel to Breath of the Wild, but like, is it
DLC? Is this gonna be DLC?
Yeah, and so there was still part of me that was missing the like real hype factor. Yes. And this, I was like, I'm gonna be at Walmart right when it opens on May 12th, because I'm gonna be getting I was like, this thing hyped me so much.
Yeah, it has the scroll.
I'm gonna get the scroll with the sword on it. Yeah. Because that's how hype I am for this game. I feel like I need some cheap scroll that comes with the game if you buy it from Walmart or pre-order it from Walmart.
And like, while games like Diablo can sell you their sheer just like, here's a beta, try it out, we know you're gonna like it, and then they sell you, right? Games like, obviously there's not gonna be a demo or a beta for Zelda,
any Nintendo game.
So it just becomes so important to really like hammer the hype in and to time it well, because this is perfectly timed. This hype from this trailer, if this trailer was like 4 months ago, it wouldn't have the same impact. It being like less than a month, like 3 weeks from the release of the game, it will carry the hype of the fan base and the general public all the way until the release of the game, versus some games, they will craft a trailer, maybe not as good as this, but it's still like an 8 or 9 out of 10 trailer. Mm-hmm. And that will be the first trailer they show at E3 2 years before the game drops.
And then they don't, like, and it's like, if they made another trailer that was like that, like, sooner, then that's great, but they don't. Yes. They're like, here's, like, we want to get everyone hyped, like, 3 years in advance, but then that dies. Eventually that dies, especially if you don't keep it up, if you're doing things to keep the hype going. Yes. And a lot of people, are just casual gamers. Yeah. Like, they don't care about really the mechanics or like any of the tedious things. They just want to feel something. Yes. Like, they just want to have a good time. And why do we play video games? We want to have a good time. Yes. It's a feeling that we feel when we play games. And this trailer did such an amazing job at giving you the peak of that feeling by watching the trailer and being like, this is why I play video games.
Yes, and not just that, but this is why I own a Switch. Because think about it, we were just complaining about, when's there going to be a Switch 2? Oh, the Switch is so weak. I wish this game was on like a Switch with like with 4K or 1080p or whatever, right? You say all these complaints. And then like now you watch that and you're like, put it on a tablet. I don't give a shit. I want to play it. Put it on the fucking Leapfrog machine from back in the day. If it's 8-bit suddenly, okay, I'm playing. I'm in. Like,
I want that shit on my Samsung TV right now.
Anything. If I could play it right now with cloud streaming and it ran like poop, I'm in. I'm in for at least a couple hours, That's what you want to give people, And so I think is there anything else for us to say about this trailer? Is there anything else you want to say besides the dragon that the end looked fucking crazy?
Oh yeah, the dragon looked nuts. Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, find me. Oh my God, Abraham Lincoln. Oh, we need so when this game eventually goes on the PC and it's in the mod community, we need an Abraham Lincoln or it's just Link, but with the long hair and he looks
like a giant ass top hat.
A giant top hat and a big ass beard.
It's blonde.
Wait, blonde?
Yeah, no, but it's Link.
Oh, okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. Oh my God, that's even worse. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh my God.
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my God. And then we get Ganon a Lincoln beard just for fun. And it's the Battle of the Beards.
The Battle of the Beards?
And I'm in it because I'm the bearded panda. But as you're saying, sorry, I mean, where you missaid one word and I went on a tangent about Abraham Lincoln Ganondorf.
No. Link looks hot. And I'm happy that I didn't finish the other statement or else it would have been like, man, Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Like
oh.
No,
You looking presidential today.
You looking mighty presidential today.
That's gonna be my new thing. Like, yeah, you looking mighty presidential.
Damn, baby. Then when we told you, you looking mighty presidential today, I vote for you.
You looking mighty Barack today. Got on that first name basis with Obama. Okay, back. You say what you wanted to say.
I'm gonna say that Link, he's just drippy. He's rugged, but he looks fresh.
No, but honestly, I know the whole game, you're gonna want to switch gear, get better gear, blah, blah, blah. But honestly,
I want to keep it.
I want to keep him looking like that.
I don't care if my armor needs to be 0. The stats are all 0. If I look like that.
Wait, you know what I noticed?
What?
He has the long. I'm assuming all that's gonna be the beginning of the game. He has the long hair and the cool sandals and the cool Greek robe or whatever. But later in the trailer, he gets a haircut. He goes to the stylist and gets his haircut. You notice that his hair is back to normal.
Goes back to what the normal
everything.
Is. But I actually think I saw in one other thing he had antlers. He had horns that were like this.
But is that a helmet or something? I mean, because he has helmets in the game,
Well, but he had horns and his hair was down.
Oh,
at least I think so.
You think maybe there's I don't know.
Maybe there's different hairstyles. Maybe that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be really fun if you went to town and there was
shaved his head.
And there, bald Link. Hell no, not happening, guys.
Bald Link with a beard.
Bald Link with a beard. Oh my God, Link with a beard. That's even okay. Now we're getting. I didn't even think about that. Link's never had a beard.
Link's never had any facial hair.
I know. He's like an elf thing.
Yeah.
But so is that all we have to say about this amazing Tears of the Kingdom trailer? I think so. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah. Is that I'm hyped? Hype. Story Link's looks good. Hot. Zelda's hot. Ganon is somehow hot. I think you think everybody's hot at this point. Everyone's hot. Yeah. That's an agreeable statement, yeah. I agree with that statement. I agree. I don't know why I said it like that. I just like
that is
my brain was like
statement.
Final Fantasy 16, my most anticipated game of the year. Even with this trailer's amazing. Doesn't save that one thing looked like glue. The glue trailer still was. I still have that in the back of my head. Like, I'm hyped. I'm all in. I'm gonna get a day one. I'm gonna play it day one. But I'm like still slightly prepared for the glue, for the same game with glue. You know, I'm prepared for that reality if that is what it is. Final Fantasy 16, all my limits unchained. They call me Mr. Unchained because
Mr. Biscuit.
I am all in with this game, and I will honestly, it will be a slap in the face to me if this game doesn't turn out to be at least like a 9 out of 10.
That'll be a slap in the face to me if this game is not Game of the Year. I will be genuinely surprised.
Well, just wait for Space Marines too. I'm telling you guys, that game is gonna be so good. I'm telling you, trust me.
Copium.
No, it's gonna be good. It's just, not Game of the Year.
The game's gonna be great, but okay, if we get to the Game of the Year, like the Game Awards,
yes,
and like we play Space Marines and stuff, and it ends up like somehow blowing our socks off, and Space Marines gets Game of the Year, I don't know what universe I woke up in.
Yeah.
Like, I will think I literally changed universes. This is not what my timeline is used to.
It's like, if I think about it, this is the reality I'm hoping for. We have, like, best RPG, Diablo, best open world game, Zelda, best action game, Final Fantasy 16, Game of the Year, Final Fantasy 16. Best narrative, I'm hoping Final Fantasy 16, but
who knows?
Who knows? Maybe Jedi Survivor could win that one.
Yeah, that seems like,
I don't foresee it beating
best trailer.
But like,
we already know.
Oh my god, yes. But yes, Final Fantasy 16. That's how amazing it's looking off pure like. Just it's showing the game, not on. I'm not trying to. I don't want to suddenly like trash on the trailer, but like it is a gimmick of like, look at this trailer. I evoke an emotion from you, and it makes you want the game.
Yes.
Final Fantasy is based off pure. Here is straight gameplay. The thing you will be playing looks fun as hell. The only thing that could throw it off is like if you play it and it feels weird, but like most likely
it won't.
It's gonna feel great. We're gonna show you a ton of stuff that's in the game that you get to do. That sells you on it. Period. End of story.
Yeah, it was. So I was at work when that state of play was happening, and like you know, when I'm at work, I try and like listen to. I listen to a lot of kind of funny games daily, and like their other podcasts and stuff. And a lot of times, like, and we'll have the video up. Like I watch them on YouTube, and so like I'll like peek at my iPad, you know, then like see what's going on if I want to look at something, work or whatever. Yeah. And so of course, because this is like the content that we like to make, I was like, okay, I gotta watch this, and I really wanted to, but really before this, I wasn't actually
planning on playing it.
No, I thought of like maybe trying it when he got it.
Yeah.
And also I never played a Final Fantasy game before, and like they it's not that I don't think they were bad or anything like that. It's just like I'm still new to like kind of like more high level like action games. Like they're not what I'm used to, and so I just never got into it. Although when you did play the Final Fantasy VII remake, I really liked that. I thought that was super cool, and I actually considered playing that.
Yeah.
But this one, I was like going into it like, okay, I gotta pay attention, but I still gotta do my work, whatever. I did not do work for 25 minutes. I was staring. If anyone, my boss passed, I'm staring at my iPad.
Yeah, Hey, you want to watch this? You want to see this? Is crazy.
No, I was like, anyone? Can we put on TV? Like, everyone watch the Final Fantasy 16 trailer. This game, coming from someone who I have no previous type of Final Fantasy games, I was like, they're cool, but like not for me. I am so incredibly about this game.
Yes.
And everything that I was like, the sheer amount of just gameplay and how crazy it looked, that they just were like freaking hitting you in the face for 25 minutes straight of like another one of just pure like, oh my god, this game looks nuts, but it also looks like I won't get overwhelmed by it.
Yes.
Like in a bad way. And it looks like I can follow it. And I'm actually going to talk about that first.
Yes.
Is the options, because for me that's really like that's huge. So like, you know, I'm like, you know, everyone's on their own like how deep or not deep they are into playing games. And for me, I'm definitely like
in a phase.
And I'm going through another phase where I'm moving from like, I kind of went from like smaller to Mario. It's really just more, not smaller, it's more like simple. Yeah. Like games that you play that are, you know, like the very extreme, like Mario games. Mario games, very easy to understand. Yeah. Mario Kart, very easy to understand. Like Animal Crossing, and then like a bunch of other games that I played a lot of games. And I understand them to you know, it's kind of like a gradient, whether or not how much or how little I understand these games.
Yeah.
And so for me, one of the biggest things that it was hard for me to get into action games or open world games or just any really RPGs, period. Yeah. It was really hard for me to get into it because I felt like I didn't understand what was going on. And I didn't know how items worked or like the whole like especially the what's it called? The tree, the skill tree. I did not understand that at all.
Because
I was like so
coming
lost.
From someone who, if you're watching this and you've played a lot of RPGs, right? You played Skyrim, you played oh my god, why am I blanking on it? Witcher, you played all these different RPGs, action RPGs, MMOs, right? You play all these games, right? You don't realize how many like just assumptions you start making because you just played so many games, right? You're like, okay, the skill tree makes sense. Oh, item management, some games are more confusing, but there are things that carry over throughout the games. There's all these subsystems that are throughout the years have been built upon that eventually it's just like, oh, even though I don't even see it as like 10 different subsystems, to me it's one game. There are 10 different subsystems that make up this game that someone has to know how to use each one of those. And for her coming in, it was like, it was not easy to understand, because when I'm going through a new RPG and they're teaching me those things, I'm really just learning the nuances. I'm skipping through half the stuff because I just need to know like the very specific things to this game. For you have to learn from the bottom all the way to the top, and that's a lot of information.
It's a lot of information. And now I think with this game, I think I will be more like you, where like I've played enough games that I kind of understand it, but it's still fresh enough for me that I'm like, man, they like by making this game like the UI, it's still a lot. Like it's still, if you don't understand like skill trees and you don't understand like the things you have to collect and items that you have to use and how to use them and where to put them and your armor and how to equip things and like how to level things up, like you have so many different things you have to like level up, or like you can't play the game. Or the controls and the mechanics, like they did so many things in this gameplay to make like your menu, it was so clean,
so nice looking.
Oh my god, the menu for like the skill tree was so simple. It
was like, oh, these are main skills in the center and then the smaller skills on the outside, and you can respec at any time, and it can spec for you. So if you're like decision fatigue or just indecisiveness, you can just be like, you know what, just give me cool skills, and it's like, okay.
So they have these rings that you put on that, like, so let's say you want to be there's two different versions of the game. There's like the normal, like you're more focused on the action and the combat, and then there's like story mode basically, which like you still have to go through some of the combat, but it's way easier. And I wish that was an option more like earlier in other games. To just like focus on the story, or at least that I would have known about it earlier if it already was more of a thing.
The rings, basically what they do for you is when something attacks you, it slows down time and you can press a button and it automatically dodges for you. And so basically what happens, and not automatically, you're still interacting with it.
There's a bunch of different kinds of rings that you can, I think you can have 3 on 3 at a time.
Yeah, and there's
and you get
3
pick,
specific ones.
The things that you need help with, and
yes.
and the one that the slowing down time one you were talking about,
yeah.
I think is super important if you kind of get lost in the sauce of combat. The dodging one, obviously, to just auto off to the side, because a lot of people, especially for people who don't understand combat very well,
yes.
dodging and parrying and stuff like that is just not even on your brain.
And I think it does it in a way that's a lot better because, okay, for me, dodging and parrying is all the combat system, awesome, but those are the moments that you're like, oh, it feels like, and you're going crazy, and then they're like, oh, F you, they go to attack you, and then boom, you parry through it, and then come back and you keep on attacking. Those are the moments that make the game feel so satisfying and awesome. And I like that in this more simplified mode, when they attack you, it isn't just auto dodge. You still have to press the button, so it gives the player a feeling of oh, that did feel really nice, that felt sick, and it maybe even tempts them to want to play the more complex version with the more intense
where you
fights,
have to parry,
where you have to
dodge, and you have to time it. But it gives people the option to breathe a second.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of people that I know who and obviously you can play the story the story focused version of this game, but there are some games that are screw having a story focused part of the game, it's just combat. But and there's easy, but that even for people that are new, that's still hard.
Yeah.
And so there's some people I know multiple people that are I don't really want to go through the effort or taking the time to play the whole game. If it's going to be that difficult, I'm just going to go on YouTube and watch the story when it comes out and, the cutscenes, and which is sad. I'm man, you'd enjoy this so much more if you played the game. But obviously, if that's what you want to do, then do whatever you want. But it feels like they really focused on getting as many players as possible with this one.
Yes.
When it comes to what you're interested in and your skill level, how much experience do you have with RPGs or any combat game or action games and stuff like that. Because I know for a fact that if I a year ago or something, maybe 2 years ago, if I would have seen this game, it would have been one of those games that still felt overwhelming, a little overwhelming to me. Yeah. But I would have felt oh, they got all these different features to make it easier. I might give this a try.
Yes.
And now, where I'm at with gaming, I'm oh no, I'm just going to give it a try no matter what. This is it. Because they made it so user-friendly.
Yes. And, that's the cool thing about the RPG elements and the UI and what they're doing with that. And I'm excited for that, and I am interested to see...
There's a spider!
Oh, there is a spider. Oh, God. Okay, guys. We have to kill a spider. Keep them entertained.
I'm gonna hide away. Oh, it's gonna go on my coffee! No, look at my coffee. It's on the light! Oh... We got it.
It's a good thing. Too many ants in this room.
Oh, probably want to eat the ants.
Probably was feasting on the ants.
It was munching on them ants.
But back to the gaming. I'm interested to see how the RPG elements kick in. Because honestly, to me, I'm hoping they're there. But a lot of the impact of the game is based off performance and your abilities. Because I feel usually, while it's cool to change gear and all that different stuff, a lot of that stuff usually to me is it's cool to help make different builds, but a lot of it can become the stat boost. It's just stronger, and you don't see a visual impact. If I put on different armor or if I have new abilities, but I don't see a visual difference, I don't care.
That's why I love Diablo so much.
Yes, because when you put on new armor, it always looks different. When you get different abilities, it has very significant visual impacts. It isn't just oh, you get flash fire fist, and when you punch, it does twice as much damage, and you do it, and it's like this tiniest little spark, but you're doing twice as much damage. That to me, I'm like, that was the worst upgrade. Versus if you punch and the enemies engulfed in flames, and your fist is like turning the blue flames on your arm, and you can like see, I don't know, damage numbers or something, and they're dying quicker. Then it's like, wow, that was an awesome upgrade.
Yeah.
That difference.
It's the visuals that really help.
And so I'm interested to see what they do with the RPG mechanics and like items and weapons, but I don't want it to be like Skyrim. And I know it's not. It's way more of an action game than an RPG game.
Yes.
But yeah, this game, I have not gotten vibes like this since God of War 3. I swear they saw Kratos versus Kronos, and they were like, we want that.
That one.
We'll take two of those. And because guess what? This felt like two of that fight. This fight was great. You're running of the Titan, and it's like all these tendrils are coming in its hands, and all these rocks.
I already know someone's gonna make a I Need a Hero edit off of that one.
Yes, that's how hype that was. And honestly, this trailer, I don't know what to say anymore about this game. Like, this is another situation where it's like, besides maybe a trailer like the Zelda trailer we just got, I don't know if there's much more I want.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's like
I'm like, I mean, I'm sold. Like, maybe if they had a trailer like the Zelda trailer that was more focused on the story and like the emotion,
yes.
I think that would be really cool. But honestly, I'm good. Like,
yes.
I'm sold. Like, I don't care that the game doesn't come out until June. Like, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Know?
I'm ready.
And one thing that I want to talk about was, like, with, like, the pure just, like, hype factors and stuff, was that I love, because it was gameplay, like, you could see the user interface and stuff like that. And so we were kind of, like, analyzing, like, like, when you press this button, like, you do, like, a super move, and then you can switch in between, like, the different icons, moves, and stuff like that. And just being able to see that, and then I was, like, in this mode, I didn't realize it until now. I was like, because I thought you only got to play as that one icon, like the main dude, like the smaller icon.
I think it's Ifrit.
Yeah, Ifrit. Like, I thought you could only play as him.
Yeah.
But then, like, as I'm watching this trailer, I'm like, wait, but isn't that the Phoenix? But he's fighting another bird? Like, wait, which bird are you? And then I saw, like, in the top left corner, it shows you which icon you are, or which icon's powers you're using, and you get to switch between those using the left trigger.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is, like, so cool and very, like, I'm gonna be like, Ash Ketchum, like, I gotta catch them all.
More like Naruto. More like Naruto. Jinchuriki, you got all the tailed beasts in here.
I know, it is definitely like that. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, it is funny. You're trying to catch all these Pokemans.
Poke icons.
But, yeah, I think it's really cool. And I think it's cool that on these icon battles, if you notice when they're fighting, I think Bahamut, I don't know how to say his name right. I don't know how to say really most of them right. But during one of the icon fights, you aren't just one. It isn't just one icon versus the other one. He is first Ifrit, and then he turns into like the Phoenix icon. He switches during the fight as the fight progresses. And obviously, that's not gonna be like a mechanic. You can't switch at any time. But like, it is cool that
that'd
like,
be cool if you could.
It'd be crazy. Maybe there will be one fight where like maybe, as we talked about, probably the last fight you will be able to switch between them or something. I
think in the last, I don't know if you'll be able to switch between them,
but
on
it'll
your
go
own,
between all of them.
But yeah, I think in the last main fight of this game, I believe, because you're gonna have gone through all these icons and you're gonna have all these powers, it's going to cycle you through each icon that you have like become, and you're gonna fight this thing in a different way or something like that. I just know it's got to involve all the icons somehow, some way, and I just think that's so cool. I also love that because each icon is different, like the boss battle is like so like it's different for each icon that you face, which I love, because like boss fights can get kind of samey. Yeah. Like it's like okay, Elden Ring, awesome. I know like every boss fight, yes, each boss is different, but you are still you are still like, whatever build that you made, and you like, you're still like doing damage and however you decided you want to do damage in the game.
Basically,
and dodging.
You like having more cinematics mixed in.
Not just cinematics, but like okay, like the one where you're flying and then it's like that 3D like shoot 'em up kind of like flying like side scrolling like shooting one, and then there's the one where you're like with the main one that we've seen so far with Ifrit and then the bird lady thing, where you're like in a wrestling match or something like that, and it seems like they're all so unique and different that like it won't feel like, oh, I just did this. Yes. Like it's the same thing, different icon. Yeah. You know, and that really interests me.
Yeah, the icon stuff is super awesome. I like that they're showing it off a lot. I think at this point, do not show me any more icon stuff though, because I don't want to be spoiled. Honestly, I feel like I have been shown too much. Like, I think they should have just shown, you know, the bird, the Phoenix fight, and the Titan fight. I don't think they should have shown Bahamut and the one with the he has like the horse and stuff, and the Typhon fight. I don't think they should have shown those other three, because it's like those are moments that like when you play in the game you're like, oh, it's so hype, you know, and now it's like I know they're coming and I'm looking for them at some point. So there is a little bit of a oversharing, but it's better to overshare than to undershare. It's definitely better to sell the game than it is to just like, oh, we want to make it hidden so that players experience it, but then no one wants
to buy the game because we didn't give you
game.
Something to exactly. And that's one thing that I think a lot of, which is why like, and who knows, maybe that's just a fraction of the icons that are available, you know? And so maybe we could be like, oh man, they showed us so many, when there's like, I don't know, like 30 or something like that.
If there was 30 icons, that'd be the whole game. I hope there's not 30 icons.
No, I know. I'm just saying like it could be that there's a lot more. Yes. But I feel like this is a lot better than like other games where, because they want to keep it a secret and they're like, oh, we don't want to spoil you. And I'm like, well, I want to know if I want to buy this game. You know, like, is this game worth my time? And I'm not going to find that out by being mid on how I feel about the game and then buying it and being like, yeah, shouldn't have bought the game. Or maybe it's 50-50 whether or not I buy a game that I feel mid about and I like it or not.
Yes. That's true. You know, and I'm glad they shared all that stuff. I'm glad we know what to expect, and you know, that is making a good point, because I just talked about how I'm hyped for this game because I know what to expect, and I have a high amount of confidence that this will be like a 9 out of 10 at least game, that this will be like game of the year, at least nomination material.
100%.
And that like it's shown enough just through pure, you know, virtue that like it's that good. And so I think that's great. The only thing that hasn't been shown, and I'm glad they haven't shown this much, they've talked about it but they haven't shown it, is the story. And probably honestly because the story's probably complex, that's probably why. But also, you know,
we do go through like, it is like you found out like you go through his teens, his 20s, and his 30s, which I think is so cool.
Yeah,
but that's probably why it's probably kind of complex, and you find out different things throughout flashbacks and whatever.
Well, they openly talked about how they want it to be like Final Fantasy, Game of Thrones. So they want. Guess what? Game of Thrones is a complex show, and so they know that, and they just want to give you like the bare minimum and just get you intrigued. And I'm glad they're doing that, because I think if they were to show more, people would start to be like, this story seems confusing. I don't want to. Just sell people with the gameplay. They get in, and then they'll be invested in the story. And so they're just doing this wonderfully. They're doing it absolutely wonderfully.
I 100% agree. One thing that I also am excited for is for the training room to like practice different moves and stuff. I am really looking, and you can like change the enemy you're fighting, which is really cool, and like the size and like stuff like that. And they also have an arcade mode where you can challenge, like you do different like trainings and
they
like
did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that part. You guys let me know.
There's it's called, I don't know if it's necessarily called, they said it was called arcade mode in the thing, but it's where you do different like simulations or whatever, and it's like a timed thing where you compare your results to like everyone else who's playing the game. It's like an online thing. You're trying to get like world record for like, I don't know, most damage or most like amount of enemies killed maybe in under a minute or something like that. They're in they happen in the training room.
And guys, if you don't know, right, I'm currently in the process of making a video about time trials and about trials and games, and that's hitting all the stuff I talk about in the video about, you know, you having something that may force you to practice and master the gameplay and having raw fun and raw gameplay in there, but then having things to shoot for with the timer, and then having just like something like Neon White, having a leaderboard, because for most people that won't matter, but it is interesting. And
to some people it will.
You just keep on adding things. Keep adding things to make people interested, and it adds so much value and so much longevity to the game. And I know there's other things they're doing to add longevity to the game with like New Game Plus and having the abilities and also having leaderboards with how fast you complete the campaign.
Yeah.
But
I also think as a newer player, that's going to be great for people who want to train and practice the moves without the like consequences of not knowing how to do it and then like dying or something like that and like losing items or whatever. Yeah. And so I also like that it's like they said it was like a training room that's beyond like space and time or whatever, like the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball. Yeah. And so I'm just like imagining like, you know, going in there like Goku and Vegeta.
Goku and getting out way stronger.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. I'm really excited for that. The dog's cute.
Dog's cute, yeah.
What's his name?
Torgal.
He's so cute.
Yeah, I like that Torgal's thick. He's not like some, I don't know. We get a lot of like skinny dogs. I like that he's just like, nah, I'm an anime dog. I'm thick as hell. Like
he also had a Sonic moment.
Oh yeah, he is a little.
Yeah, he has a, like, he straight up does, like, where Sonic, like, turns into a ball and, like, spins really fast. Yeah. Well, he did that, like, but on fire.
Yes, it was great.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Anything else you want to talk about before we close up? I think I've said the stuff that was most important to me. So, that is all we have to say about Final Fantasy 16, Zelda, the hypest trailer ever created. And I hope you guys enjoyed what you were hearing. Please follow on whatever platform you are listening to us on. And subscribe. If you are on YouTube, freaking subscribe. Come on.
And if you're not listening, go to YouTube and subscribe.
And you know what? While you're at it, follow our Twitter. Follow our Twitter.
Our Twitter at girlboygamesyt and our TikTok at girlboygamesyt.
Because then you can talk to us on Twitter. And on TikTok, man, if you like this podcast, you can just rewatch the best clips of the podcast, but there's funny edits with it. It's like that actually enhances the podcast. So definitely follow there. And we want to thank you guys for listening and watching. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See you guys next time. Bye. Bye.